I mean, certainly, I think that kind of clarity in my poems is something I aim for. I relish in. To me personally, my personal aesthetic is, in some ways, like a math problem, is to take some unknown and break it down to give us some kind of potential answer or resolution. I think it's the poet's job to sort of do that work, to crystallize, to distill, to take something that's already complex and not make it more complex, because, as Einstein said, any idiot can do that. I think Einstein said that, but to me personally, my aesthetic is to do quite the opposite, and that's the internal work that I have to do, the mathematics that I have to do, and those deceptively simple poems or stories, or like a Hemingway, that's deceptively seems simple on the surface, but to me, accessibility and clarity are not synonymous with simplicity or simpletonness, and I think that wire gets crossed a lot in critique. One of my favorite examples of that is Elizabeth Bishop, that on the surface seems like a simple poem about, well, she's fishing or catching a fish, and the more you read it, the more there are layers and layers and layers of meaning embedded in that, and everyone can access the poem wherever they're at. I compare it in that way to, Shakespeare, in the sense Shakespeare's now taught us this high art, but when you think about Shakespeare's plays, on the pit they were, basically drinking ale and brawling and waiting for the next person to get stabbed or killed or murdered, and then on the top floor you had the Queen of England looking at the play, and perhaps in a whole different way. That to me is genius, and that's what I strive for all the time. I want, my mom to get my poems, as well as any university professor.